Good evening, everyone. Daniel Miller here. How are you all doing? Very good to see you here in large numbers. And first and foremost, I wish to thank you for all of your participation earlier today in my Anthem demo, VIP demo review. I was quite astonished by the number of you who came there and participated and basically engaged with what is one of the most exciting games to come out of BioWare during this decade, one of the biggest games in fact of this decade. And thank you for your comments and views, also for connecting on Twitter and Instagram. As you know, we had a respite from Destiny World during the last 3 days. The reason for that was very, very simple. We had this Anthem VIP demo testing weekend, and in fact it wasn't an ordinary demo, to be honest with you. It was quite big and vast in terms of its content. Altogether, they said up to 8 hours of story missions and Stronghold content. Stronghold is the Anthem content similar to what we have as raids in Destiny. And in addition to that, there was a lot of gameplay, a lot of exploration of the open world, and exploration of the base, which is called Fort Tarsis. Lots of different characters whom we could speak to, and plenty of novelties for us to really kind of get introduced to as well. So altogether it was very, very enjoyable, although I have to say the demo launch was plagued by lots of technical issues, and particularly on Friday where people from all platforms couldn't log in. There were problems with codes. And then after that was resolved, we were getting this dreaded infinite loading screen very, very frequently. So for myself, as a Twitch streamer, I had to be basically discontinuing my broadcasts and reloading the game many times, which was causing hiccups. And then eventually when we got into the game, which indeed was very enjoyable, we had this so-called, well, it's called rubber banding. I didn't even know this jargon before this weekend. Basically a lot of lag, which is preventing me from being able to move on from any position. So obviously any time I was dropped into the area where the mission was to begin, I suddenly couldn't move anywhere. I had this difficulty in literally just being thrown into different areas and then being brought back. So that was causing a lot of problems if indeed I was intercepted by the enemy or participating in a major firefight, because if a third person was viewing me, I was just literally static. I was not moving at all, whilst I was trying my hardest to either run, walk, fly, crawl, you name it, and simply nothing would work. But these were the technical issues. I think I focused in my review on the quality of the gameplay and the vastness of that Anthem universe and everything else which I've seen so far. Absolutely loved the gameplay, loved the characters and the RPG element. I'm still getting to know the javelin suits better. I tried 2 of them, where at the end of Sunday we were even offered 4 as compensation for all the hassle which was caused by technical issues, and just loved the idea. What I really like the most, and I guess that's really what makes me even more excited, is that the anticipation of the predicament that Anthem was going to be very similar to Destiny turned out to be not true. Anthem feels very much like an extension of Mass Effect universe. Everything you see from the beginning reminds you of Mass Effect, but in a very, very different fashion. You have many more characters to talk to. The attention to detail is much greater in Anthem than in Mass Effect, and beautifully, visually, in every aspect, Anthem is obviously a step up from the trilogy. And then when you get into the arena where you get firefights, when you walk through the open world, that also is reminding you of that Mass Effect world, but this world is breathing with a different kind of air. And you really find, first of all, that the enemies are significantly different. They're large in numbers, they come in all shapes and sizes, and they are probably, I spotted 3-tier difficulty level with enemies. You had one lot which was kind of easy enemies, if you wanted, those which can be dispensed with rather quickly. You use some of your ordinary weapons on them and they were gone. But then you had the medium enemy, which was very difficult to kill, and then you had the top level enemy, which was very, very hard to kill. And they weren't bosses, they were just simply very hard to kill. So firefights appear to be challenging. The exploration of the world was very interesting, and indeed there was a mixture of exploration, dialogue and puzzle, which was on the plate literally from the word go. So altogether a very, very positive experience as far as the gameplay is concerned. Obviously, if we are considering the technical issues, they were causing us many headaches, and I was very, very unhappy as a streamer that I had to be restarting so many times and reloading the game, and obviously very hard on the eyes of our viewers, and testing the patience of a saint, as one might say, for everyone involved. But BioWare responded immediately already on Friday and Saturday by apologizing, indicating that the problems were not server players and the sheer number of the gamers that came in, literally from the word go. So that itself was significant, and they indicated that they will work literally 24/7 before the next weekend in order to resolve all the problems. I'm certainly hoping that indeed they are going to be resolved, because guess what? This was so-called the VIP demo test weekend, which meant we had a limited number of gamers in there involved. But the next weekend is basically an open demo weekend, and the number of gamers is likely to be tenfold to what we experienced during the last 3 days. So therefore I'm hoping that the problems are not server based, and that everything is going to be as smooth as possible, perhaps even more enjoyable when it came to the actual gameplay, because I really had to struggle to get to certain points because of that lag. And then there were also game crashes sometimes literally at the end of the mission. So I fought the battle with the enemy called Swarm Tyrant, and this is a massive big boss which we all have to be attacking as a team in order to defeat. And several times when I came right to the end where the boss was about to die, then the game crashed. So I had to replay it from the beginning. No experience points or any achievements were really accredited, and that was causing some concerns as well. But coming back to the enjoyable part, which is the actual gameplay and the way Anthem really works, when fully operational, it's really very smooth gameplay. You have very easy control of your character. All the controls on PlayStation are very, very simple, so they're very easy to learn and to use. And in addition to that, I particularly like the mobility. The characters are moving really placidly through different areas. You had your ability to either walk, run, fly, or indeed move in different directions through the use of subclasses. And one of my characters was able to do that. That was the character who was wearing the Storm Javelin suit. And at the end of Sunday, as a kind of as offer of goodwill, the development company BioWare offered us the use of all 4 suits, but we didn't have enough time to try them all, because obviously once you wore them, you have to be going through certain missions, and I tried 2. So hoping that during next weekend I'll be able to obviously explore the other 2 as well. I did see them in the firefight arena. I was doing the missions together with Colossus, and can't remember what the 4th one is called now, but I tried the default Ranger and then my Storm Javelin suit as well, and it really looked beautiful. And also, if you are going to be doing your customized character creation, you have so many different bits and pieces which you can add to outfit. It is truly astonishing. I do not remember creating any character in any other game which would have been as precise, as meticulous, with so much attention given to detail. And there were lots of questions arising from the community members in my review Q&A session about microtransactions and whether people will have to be buying certain things in order to move on. The reason they asked this question was to do with the quantity of detail spotted on the outfits, but at the end of the day it will be left to the publisher really to decide. I personally couldn't comment on this. I really liked the outfits. I liked the way we could really change and adapt them to our own abilities and our own desires, we had some really awesome looking characters there in the arena. I have to say, I stumbled across a few male and female characters, and they looked so mighty and so knowledgeable and so full of expertise. The way they tackled all these enemies, you think, well, they played already this game for months, and actually the game's been just not even released, but the demo had been accessible only for a few hours. So very, very enjoyable experience overall of the gameplay. Really look forward to it. I will be running a daily Anthem review session. The reason I'm doing that is basically to collect your views and concerns on Anthem, which I will forward to BioWare, and therefore I'm inviting everybody to come in and present me with your views and concerns. I also would like to have them in a written format. People can either send me an email or write here on the chat, and I just ask everyone to be as kind of crisp and concise as possible in order for those concerns to be easily digested by the people in the know out there, working for the developer, because they're very interested to hear on everything that the community members experienced. First of all, they're interested to hear on the gameplay, whether you find it enjoyable, whether you find all the aspects of the gameplay as interesting as expected. Also, everything I said about the customization of the Javelin suit, about your main character, about the story, about the fort tasks, the locations, about fighting the boss, all these kinds of things. They are very, very curious to hear what you thought. And then, on the other hand, they'll be very interested to receive any complaints and concerns about the technical issues, because they identified about half dozen which were widespread, and indeed I had experienced all of those as well. I think they were present across all platforms, and therefore they were stated as the main ones. The ones affecting me primarily were that infinite loading screen. There was a problem with logging in originally at the beginning of that testing period, which was on Friday. And then the biggest problem I had, which really was hampering my broadcasts, was the lag on the main character. The lag was so severe that I kept having what they call rubber banding. You go kind of backwards and forwards, and you always keep coming back to the same place. So if you were a third person watching, if you were in the game and you were playing a Colossus and I was, let's say, a Ranger, you would see me just standing remotely, not doing anything. And that was happening to lots and lots of different people. EA picked up on that only on Sunday, but this was one of the most difficult technical issues for the gameplay, and many people complained about that already on Friday. So hope that they are going to be picked up, and hope that the BioWare teams are certainly in possession of enough human power and knowledge and expertise to tackle them before the next weekend. Because guess what, next weekend, with everybody coming, an open demo weekend, is going to be a lot harder on the servers, and there may be other technical issues arising as well. We'll have to see. But anyway, to summarize, I absolutely love Anthem. For me, my verdict would be 10 out of 10 in terms of the gameplay. Loved every aspect of it, from the suit designs through the emotion of the character, his mobility, my ability to engage with various people in conversations, to the actual firefights and the enemies, as well as a multitude of different areas to explore, the vast open world areas, some flying, some diving, some exploration underwater, all sorts of niceties for us to engage with. I can see many hundreds of hours being spent on the game by many gamers worldwide, so I can't wait for that 22nd of February to rise. Let's hope everything is going to be problem-free by that date. And indeed, I want to invite you for my regular daily reviews on Anthem, which will be collecting interesting bits of information from you, the community members, and I'll be giving you probably some news as they come along every day from BioWare. So definitely do join me for those. There will be literally every day at the beginning of my kind of evening broadcast, so definitely worth joining and expressing your concerns, which will be almost exclusively Anthem demo related. But now we are going to be moving back to our beloved Destiny world, Titan. And as you know, my Warlock is already on 392 light, Hunter is on 385, and guess what, Titan, I played only for about less than a week, and I already have 381 light on him, thanks to one of the items which I acquired through my Hunter. The item in question is called Spark of Light, and the Spark of Light had enabled me to raise my light instantly, literally when I was just level 1, and therefore I have the privilege of being able to go through the missions with the best possible kit and weaponry, which is going to be making the entire gameplay very enjoyable and significantly different to what we've seen on Hunter and Warlock. Right, so without further ado, we are going to proceed with our Titan, and you can see my Titan out there, and we'll engage with our story missions. I'll be quite curious to hear from my community members on how many of you actually played Anthem over the weekend, because whilst I was playing it, not many people had come in, so it was a very, very quiet 3 days, and I guess many people engaged with the demo themselves. But on the other hand, I had so many technical problems due to the glitches, and all reported really, that it did take me a bit of time to get everything going as well. And it was particularly annoying that every broadcast had to be discontinued and then restarted. So I had probably about 20-25 broadcasts on Anthem during the weekend, and that was literally not what I wanted to see, because needing to restart the game means needing to restart the broadcast, and that's causing, you know, a lot of problems for everybody involved, particularly the viewers. And then secondly, I also get very tired and lose my track of thought, and you know, all these sorts of things. But at the end of the day, it felt more like a beta test than a demo, and I'm very, very glad I participated, and certainly very much look forward to the next weekend for more. So we are now on our Titan, and we are to go back to the tower in order to do some admin. We need to see what I have, what still needs to be resolved, and I think we are going to be getting some instructions for our future missions as well. So let's have a look what awaits us. Hello, Captain Jack. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being with us. Captain Jack is asking, what mission are you on your Titan? Well, at the moment, I'm literally considering the Chamber of Night. The Chamber of Night mission. I was just looking at it. And that would be scour the high fortress on the moon for a chamber where the speaker believes the dark ritual is silencing the traveler. So that's the next mission, which I'm going to be pursuing very, very shortly. My Titan is very mighty, as you could see on, 381 light already, thanks to that Spark of Light item, and proceeding rapidly forward. I'd like to ask Captain Jack whether you also tested VIP demo of Anthem over the weekend, or did you give it a miss? I had so much lag, it was unbelievable. Oh, you got it? You got the demo, right? How was it? What was your experience of it? Did you also have the same lag as myself? Because I thought the lag was PlayStation 4 based, but then I've heard from other people that it was also present on, you know, PC and on Xbox. And you know, as the hours progressed, one could just see so many different complaints coming to Anthem Twitter, and you know, everybody was very disappointed, you know, at BioWare. They were really heartbroken that there were so many problems, but I guess they tried their best to resolve, and by the end of Sunday the game began to work better. I have to fight it.
They say you're
Oh,
good.
Captain Jack says he wasn't talking about the demo. I beg your pardon.
This is the place.
I thought that you know, you said you got it, so I you know, I understand you say I've got it in terms of the mission which I'm going to be doing, but I just thought that you were also in possession of the demo.
Possible route.
Let's see. Captain Jack says, no, I did not play the demo. I want everything to be new to me when it comes out. Yeah, I also like that the best, you know. I really like playing the game literally from the word go, and I don't like maybe watching advanced streams or anything, because that would be spoiling my enjoyment and pleasure. But then for certain releases, if I want to be involved literally from the word go, like obviously this is the case with Anthem, then it's a different story. So that's the reason. But I can certainly tell you, my personal experience of the gameplay is very good. I think Anthem is likely to be absolutely astonishing. And what really is perhaps most significant for all of us Destiny gamers is that apart from some, I guess, conceptual similarities, it doesn't look or feel at all like Destiny related. It literally feels like an extension of Mass Effect world, and you feel that straight away when you get in and start playing it. So it looks like an astonishing combination of RPG, firefights, and puzzles, and I just can't wait for everything to roll. Yeah. Captain Jack says, haven't pre-ordered it, and honestly seeing all the stuff wrong with the demo, I'm glad I didn't. I wouldn't worry too much, because this is, literally the first demo, and also the demo wasn't like an ordinary demo, it was more like a beta test. It had up to 8 hours of gameplay based on the story missions and what appears to be like a raid, and there are also lots of other things which one could do through free play to explore the areas and go around. And I'd say it's likely that many of these technical issues will be resolved by the time the game comes out, and also at the end of the day, even if there were some glitches, within the first couple of weeks it'll be all gone. I'm certain, because I remember when the first Mass Effect came out and I played on Xbox, there were lots of complaints and concerns about the choppiness of the actual gameplay. But, it was all resolved in due course. And Captain Jack says, may have found the company more problematic than Bungie. And what can I tell you? I think BioWare is a great company when it comes to game development. Absolutely adore and love the games. They go back with me probably more than 15 years. And I love the RPG element. I love the way they sort of develop the stories. But I think everybody has to be a bit more patient as well. We are all very much used to now getting everything immediately. Everything's instantly accessible, and a lot of the comments and views which I've seen on Twitter indicating kind of immense impatience and people being very erratic and all this. The main reason for that was, I suspect, primarily to do with the fact that everyone given access had pre-ordered, or was a member of EA Origins, or was invited by one of the friends. Do you know what I mean? And therefore people felt they paid in order to test the demo, and they wanted to have it first, and then nothing worked. Certainly during the first 6 hours, hardly anybody could even log in. And that was literally a very, very major concern and disappointment, caused fury. And not everyone is as patient as myself, So there are lots of messages there saying, oh, we're going to be cancelling our order, we don't want to have our order. But that's just overly emotional. There's no need for that. Anthem is likely to be an awesome game with so many different aspects and layers to it. And it was visible as soon as we could get into the gameplay. It felt terrific. What backfired the most, in addition to all these glitches, was the game selection. You want to play as a single player, and you're being dropped into the arena with other 3 guys, and then you are selecting the multiplayer, and then you're being dropped off somewhere by yourself. And one couldn't predict what was going to be happening where. So that was just literally on the technical front a major glitch. And they're not really a developer with lots of multiplayers, That's not their strength. The strength was obviously storyline and RPG. And I think this is where the struggle is going to be. They did say that the sheer number of players and their behavior were causing some of the problems, and they did say they enabled extra servers, but I'm not sure what was causing problems. There were many, and at the end of the day, I'm very glad I was there. because I have a very, very good picture of what the game is likely to be, and I'm certainly very excited about its release and can't wait for that 20-second to roll, you know. And I think for lots of people who are ordering through Electronic Arts Origins section, they are getting the game already on the 15th, so a week earlier. And if everything obviously holds by then. But you know, at the end of the test weekend, what happened was, first of all, the executive for the live operations offered some extra skins for the main character for the Javelin suit, and that was offered as a gesture of goodwill. And as the problems were persisting, at some point on Sunday, they even unlocked all the other suits, so every gamer could actually get into 4 Javelin suits and try them. And I think, you know, that was really a very good response from the top echelons of the community to everything that was coming to them directly from the community members. So this was good, and I think they will also be offering some rewards to everyone who was testing the demo during the weekend because of all these problems. And I personally think that anyone who's ordered the game or pre-ordered will not be disappointed at the end of the day. I do expect lots of glitches and technical problems during its release, so on the first weekend there could be all kinds of hiccups, but that will all kind of even out, you know, and there is going to be a kind of a plain sailing as far as the gameplay is concerned later on. What's very important for everyone here in our community to kind of recognize is that their producer during their world premiere, which was on Thursday and screened live through IGN, confirmed that Anthem is going to be a cross-platform game, and that may not be available on the release date, but certainly within the first month or 2 months it is going to be made accessible, and I think that is going to be tremendous. So when streaming here, I'll be able to play against people who are on PC and on Xbox at the same time, and I think that is absolutely wonderful, and really, really applaud them for that. You know, I really want to see that on many other games as well, because you know from our broadcasting here, we get lots of people coming in who are, you know, watching the channel on PC or on Xbox, and then they can't join us, and they would like to. So, I mean, I can come in on any platform, but the only trouble is, presently I am tied into Sony PlayStation and my kind of promotions here, which means that I am exclusively for the period of 6 months doing everything on PlayStation. But in the future, we'll have also other platforms, and you know, we'll combine depending on the preference, depending on requests, and depending on interest as far as certain aspects of the broadcast are going to be concerned. So we are now ready. We've been looking at our beautiful city, enjoying the tranquility of it, enjoying the peace, and now we are going back in the orbit and ready for another battle. So without further ado, we have got that mission already pegged. It is going to be on the moon. And off we go. Captain Jack says BioWare is solid, Electronic Arts is questionable. You know, so many people got back to me on Electronic Arts with their concerns during the Anthem review earlier today. There was one community member who was asking questions about microtransactions and various other ins and outs of EA policy. Well, what can I say? The publishers also have to live and survive, and they have their, you know, different ways of trying to make the revenue, and sometimes their ideas backfire because they are swiftly made, you know. I think when you have a lot of pressure financially on certain releases, you have to take quick decisions, and sometimes they're not properly thought through, and therefore many problems arise afterwards. The community member was raising the issue of Battlefront 2 and the kind of implosion and collapse from within which was happening. Well, I was very, very sad to see that. Captain Jack says, I'm sure it'll still be a fun game and I'm still going to get it. I'm just not going to put up with as much stuff as I have from Bungie. Can you tell me a bit what happened with Bungie? Just if you can refresh my memory a bit. What happened? Was the original game lagging, or there were problems with the annual pass? So we are going to the moon and we'll engage with the mission. The mission is called... No, that's not it. The mission is called Chamber of Night. Ocean of Storms on the Moon. Off we go. And we have to be completing it first on the easy level, otherwise it will not register.
Urgent transmission incoming on all channels. From the speaker.
Nothing is more important now. We believe the Hive are engaged in a ritual that is draining the Traveler of its light. Whatever power they wield must be understood and destroyed.
This ritual could be happening in any one of their thousands of chambers. If we can find cracks deep enough, I can map the entire Hive fortress.
Captain Jack says, just the RNG system hurting dedicated players while benefiting casual players. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Certainly very much of concern. Did you write to them? Did you express your views? If so, did they respond? Because I frequently write to, those entities, and I get responses. Captain Jack says, and Bungie basically boosting everyone from 500 to 600 power level like nothing. Yeah, well, that's definitely not good. And particularly for people who are otherwise grinding it for a long while. And, well, the way I see it is, with some of the games, there isn't an easy way around. There are sometimes long grinds. And, when you play Elder Scrolls, sometimes you have to be looking for certain relics on items. You have to spend a lot of time looking for them. But I guess that is a part of that enjoyment doing the game. But I know what you mean, because Destiny also have this competitive element, and then if you are just grinding it and you're not able to get to it and somebody else is having a shortcut, well, that is just not fun. That is just completely wrong. And the chap early on was asking about microtransactions on other games, and he was asking, well, are they going to be introducing microtransactions on Anthem if the first weekend turns out to be a flop? Well, it's hard to tell. It depends on what the company really wants to achieve, because Anthem is probably a game which was costing a lot, like an incredibly expensive game, and they'll be looking at certain targets for the first weekend and the first week. But a lot of negative publicity, and you know what? What's interesting? There were so many complaints during the weekend, but any of the major video gaming online magazines didn't say anything today. Nothing. And it just goes to show, they didn't want to engage with the troubling aura of the demo. Although there were reports during the weekend, but there was no review or a resume. I looked in depth to find some serious reviews on what people experienced. There was nothing, literally nothing of significance. Obviously, there are some smaller entities which were describing it, but I'm not talking about the majors, so very, very little attention given. Captain Jack says, yet I play 8 hours a day and can't get geomags or data, can't get the glimmering key for the Ravensbane title. Well, that's ridiculous. That's really pushing it, isn't it? Because you spend so much time trying to get it, and then it's not happening. Now, can I just ask you, is this also on the Season of Forge? It's all happening on I can't remember what it's called now. Because a lot of people complained about this, I remember. I've seen that in December, and there was a lot of dissatisfaction expressed for these long grinds and people not being able to move further ahead. Captain Jack says, Bungie's microtransactions never bothered me since it was all cosmetic, nothing performance related. Yeah, that's right. And I think that is the way it needs to stay with the vast majority of the games, because obviously if you're giving advantage, in terms of gameplay to somebody who's paying for certain things, then that's just completely unfair. I see. Captain Jack says, no, those two examples were both just base Forsaken issues. They're not based on the seasons. And it came out last September. Yeah, I remember. I remember when it came out. And I've heard that from lots of people, you know. I'm always very sad to hear that. Captain Jack says, nothing Black Armory related. Black Armory worked out fine, right? Lots of people were quite happy with it. Not initially, but then eventually. There we are, cracking on. And we need to scan those cracks, and those cracks are there. I maybe forgot about them. Captain Jack says Black Armory has been fine, really grindy, but fine and fair. Only care about fair. Yeah, that's right. I agree. I agree. That's very important. So where are the cracks? Cracks over here. Forget about. Ah, there. Ghost is here.
Okay, good scan, but not enough to locate the ritual yet. Let's keep looking.
So there is another one as well up there. Yeah, I remember. Captain Jack says, I don't think it's fair to allow casuals to go from 500 to 600 in 2 weeks when it took me 6 weeks doing it legit. I absolutely agree, sir. That is just not on. It just feels like completely exploitative. Just because somebody else paid for it, you know, it just doesn't seem right at all. A bit too far, I can't even see him. That is beautiful. It truly is. Okay. So where is this other crack? Up there. No. Leg it. I want to ask Captain Jack, have you played Neverwinter online? A lot of people complained about the microtransactions in there as well. I played it a lot on my PC and I quite liked it. It didn't seem to affect the game, or at least as far as I got. I really like Neverwinter, really a terrific game. Captain Jack says no, he never played Neverwinter. I recommend it. I recommend it. They have also Neverwinter on PlayStation. It's a free download, you know, it's free to play. But I've not done it on PlayStation. I played it on my PC, and I loved it. I loved Neverwinter as originally released, you know, and then I loved Neverwinter Online as well. Really terrific. And what's interesting is that Neverwinter Online was easily played on all systems. You didn't have any major problems if your computer was a bit old or anything like that. You know, you could play it on your laptop. Captain Jack says, just simply do not have time. I fully understand, sir. That's the trouble with online gaming, particularly when we are engaging with massive big games, which is obviously what I prefer too. And Captain Jack says Destiny 2 is truly an addiction. Well, maybe that's taking too far, don't you think? But it's definitely a very immersive, you know. It's like it brings you in at all times, and Destiny 1's the same. I just said earlier in my review that when you don't play Destiny for a couple of weeks, you come back to it, you feel like you're coming back to your old friend, or to your old world, or to your hometown, you know?
I got it.
It just feels like coming back to...
deeper into the Temple of Crota.
It feels like coming back to, you know, your home turf, that sort of thing. And also when you talk to the community, like what I do, is you come back to your family and friends, and it just feels terrific. And I'm very glad to see that there are several games with that sort of community, and the ones I have are, you know, Elder Scrolls and Destiny, and obviously we'll have Anthem community as well. Halo community in the past, but Fallout. Nearly got away, but not for long. And what I'm doing at the moment is I'm actually playing this game seated, which is very unusual. I just do it for a little while and then I have to stand up. You'll know that I have to be standing up, because otherwise if I'm seated and playing FPS games, I get lots of pains in my neck, in my back, everywhere. So when I'm standing, I get no pains at all. And on that note, I shall be standing. Yeah, coming back to Captain Jack. Captain Jack said that Destiny 2 is truly an addiction, but I just want to say that I find Destiny to be so immersive and always interesting, and it's almost like coming back home, you know, when you come back to it. Like today, I've been doing Anthem now for 3 days, and not played Destiny since Thursday, and it's like coming back home. And also my community members, like good friends, like your family, you know, it's just really terrific. And other games do have that community. Resident Evil has a community, Fallout does have the community, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, you know, lots of different games. Call of Duty also has a community, but I think they are a bit more of a competitive kind. It's a different sort of community. And I have to admit, lots of people complain that there's some degree of toxicity in there, but you know, being a member of a competitive community is also good. Oh, he got away. Alright, I'm not really in rush in here. I'm doing everything very nicely and slowly for the benefit of our viewers. This is a very good mission, you know, it could be quite lengthy as well. And as you know, we have also lots of community members who are quite keen on engaging the enemy, meaning destroying them in the greatest number possible. And sometimes I do that as well. So let's walk a bit. Let's run a bit. It's funny, you know, because I was playing Anthem, my Storm character, after you press L3, can be kind of flying and literally just elevated a bit from the ground, and you can easily move this guy. It's so easy and so useful. And I was trying to do that all the time now with my Titan, forgetting that actually in Destiny this can't be done. Captain is here. No. We have a shank. We have him as well. Okay, that worked. Still getting used to my subclass in here. Very different to the other ones. Because Titan is all about brute force. We'll have a look at the subclass just to remind ourselves of what we've got here. Mind you, this defender hasn't been engaged at all. I've been building the other one, but the other one's looking good. All these perks already are enabled, which is useful. Uncommon mask. Well, don't really want to wear it right now. Some weapon in there which is not really particularly good. 40. And then in here we also have no. What do we have here? Another emblem. This one. Bomb Squad. Honor of Blades. I really like these, I have to admit. But this one I like the best at the moment. Blessing of the Ancients. So we'll keep it on. And at the moment... Oh, running away from me. Flying up in the air. So good to see that. Alright, carry on.
Someone's trying to establish contact. Could be the speaker. Let's get out in the open. I'll have a better chance of locking this signal.
Somebody's trying to talk to us, but we are not getting the signal.
You're interesting. Not entirely interesting, but you have promise.
Who is that?
I don't know. I'm losing the signal.
Guardian, I know what you're about to do. It's brave. But there are enemies out here you would not believe.
Out where?
Go down and face the hive. And if you live, come find me.
Signal dropped. I got some broken coordinates. Venus, Northern Hemisphere. Ishtar region. Great. What do we do now?
We go down.
So now we are to be going down to the temple, and before we do that I just want to see whether my videos indeed are now visible on Twitter, because I've sent them to the BioWare team. I'm quite curious whether they picked them up. And thank you very much to Super Say NPC. Thank you very much for joining my Twitch channel. Really grateful. Thank you for being a member of our community. And in fact, we had quite a few people coming in tonight. This was in response to my Anthem review. We had Silas 1404. We had Radical Gaming 25. We had Jeff T. We had Red 66, Dr. Dementos, and we had Sickly SXW. Jenny Loback as well. So it's Jenny Loback, Sickly, Dr. Dementos, Red 66, Jeff T, Radical Gaming, Silas, Super Say. Thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate that. Thank you for joining my community, and thank you for following me on Twitch. Thank you for being obviously members of our online streaming community. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. But I want to see whether the videos are finally showing. They're not showing yet. I don't know why. You know, it's very tricky because when you are posting and forwarding videos through PlayStation, it takes a long while before they're posted on Twitter. I don't know why that is, but just maybe it's because of the size. It's really annoying because I posted I think about 6 videos of active gameplay, and the gameplay is in the Stronghold, which is like a raid in Anthem, and we are attacking 4 of us that beast called Swamp Tyrant. And they're very good videos, there's a lot of action in there, but they're not still showing on Twitter. But funny enough, I could see that the producer of Anthem, and that is Sila Costa, he was also the producer of Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, and Dragon Age, and Mass Effect Andromeda. So he's been involved in all projects during the last 15 years or so. He picked up on the postings, but not on the videos. He picked up on the postings, and he picked up on the postings, well, first of all, the most important posting, which I left. I said I had a terrific weekend testing Anthem game, VIP demo. Technical issues aside, the game looks and feels incredible. Astonishing open world with abundance of action and dialogue. Cannot wait for 22nd of February. So this was my feedback on Twitter in response to us testing Anthem VIP demo. So I really was very complimentary about obviously the gameplay and the contents of the game, rather than, you know, being focused on technical issues. And that feedback was picked up by the producer of Anthem. So I'm very, very glad. Sila Costa is the producer of Anthem and Dragon Age and Mass Effect, and you know, he's one of the top executives at BioWare, and he also was doing the world premiere on Thursday together with another producer. They were doing it live on IGN, so if you're interested, just have a look. About 4.5 hours of introductions to Anthem. It's very, very impressive, and lots of interesting things said about Anthem, Mass Effect, all the other games, Dragon Age, as well as everything BioWare related. So definitely worth catching up. But I'm very glad to see that my feedback indeed has been picked up by BioWare. So coming back to my earlier request to my veteran friends here, if you had been engaging with Anthem demo, then send me your views and send me your messages and reflections of your experience, because I will forward it to the developer. And also, as you could see on my Twitter, some of these messages are picked up immediately, so that's very, very good, and I'm very, very grateful for that. And also I said that a selection of screenshots and gameplay videos of Anthem game from this weekend are to follow on my news feed. And I complimented them on the creation of javelin suits and the open world as well, which I believe was vast, mysterious and unpredictable. So that was also picked up by Sila Costa. Well, thank you, Sila Costa, for picking up my feedback. I'm very, very grateful, and indeed I'm hoping that you will like the videos and the gameplay as well once it fully registers, which unfortunately it still has not. So I'll have to be waiting for that. I want to see just what's happening on Instagram and whether we have any other people in there. We did have some people coming in, and we have Nicole Zanutu coming in. Thank you, Nicole Zanutu, for coming in. Really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for communicating. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Nicole Zanutu. Then I thank also JK, Gretchen, Yin Yang, Hot Trash, Eliona, Snowbound, Game of Cat, Boy for These and Con Life. Thank you all guys for joining my channel, and thank you for communicating. I truly treasure your input and your connectivity with other community members as well, so that's wonderful. Thank you for that. Alright, so we've looked at everything that's happening on Twitter and Instagram. I'm very pleased to see that Sila Costa was picking up on my feedback. This is exactly what I really wanted to see. As you know, BioWare are very, very keen to hear from the veteran gamers and streamers, and they really want to hear as much as possible on the experience of the demo and the gameplay. So if anybody out there hasn't done so, write to them directly, either by email or contact them directly through Twitter. You can also write your feedback on Reddit, or you can send your messages to myself and I will forward them to the developer, and I will also write about them here on my forums. So thank you for that. Olga is instantly dead, which is good. Okay, pick up some of the ammunition and we'll carry on. Oh, there you are. Okay. Well, that's very good, because some of the it's a special perk which is I think I have this perk on my subclass, and therefore some of the bullets are making them confused. And Fist of Havoc, sprint faster. Well, there was one perk in there, but I can't remember which one it was now. That's really good. So once they're hit, they get confused, and then I can just hit them again. And that's really good. Okay, so all the enemies are wasted in here. Nothing more to worry about, but I think we need to go down below. Off to the Temple of Crota. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. But what I want to see... is collecting these items here with my hunter, in fact. No. Just trying to think whether... Don't think I'm collecting with my ghost, quite certain. As my hunter, I have that perk, which is telling me exactly where the things are. It's dead ghost in there. Let's see whether this dead ghost is there still. Going to come out. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother. We'll go in and then do what is necessary. How on earth was it possible for me to miss that animal in there? But obviously I did. Okay. But you know what? I could have really collected some other bounties.
Just
in
like
there
the ones invading Earth. If we don't finish this, there'll be more of these hitting home.
Frequently I forget to collect my bounties before I go out on a mission. Those knights have been neutralized. The world's grave. Still don't have that grenade. Come on, charge. 3 of them. And mind you, it worked well. I've been using those fusion rifles before much, but I decided to try them on my Titan to see whether they would make a major difference, and I think so far they are making a major difference. They are, you know, serving us well. Oh, that was beautiful. 2 of them at once. I should have used my super. Forgot about it. Don't matter. Good shot. Boom. Well, that's pretty satisfying. I can see that enemy flying up in the air, being completely obliterated and destroyed. And then where do we go? We go Temple of Crota, of course. Olga is going to be there.
Here it is, the darkest of all the Hive's chambers.
Three witches killed, that's good. Not too bad, really. Able to go down like that. was able to get rid of them. Kill the ogre, which means I completed the mission. Yeah, deploy ghost, it said here, hang on. There we are.
What is this thing? It's a shard of the Traveler.
The shard of the Traveler. Look at it.
They were using it against the Traveler, devouring its light. But we freed it. And our new friend said there are enemies on Venus worse than this. Great.
Mission ends. Talk to the speaker at the Traveler's Observatory in the tower. So we are to go back to the tower, talk to the speaker, and then we'll proceed. So looking really good. Very enjoyable mission, which we completed. Obviously, the entire gameplay has very, very different flavor when you are in possession of such huge weapons and a lot of power right at the beginning of the game. So it makes it very different. I remember when I played it for the first time as Warlock, my goodness, was I not struggling. Captain Jack remembers that, he watched it, and it was a struggle. But you know what? Thanks to my community members, I learned many tricks, and I'm in a very, very different space today. So that's all very good. Very happy. There are still some missions which are quite difficult. Prisoner of Elders I find difficult, and some of the strikes as well. I think Prisoner of Elders is probably the most difficult for me compared to everything else. All the strikes I was able to do by myself, and all the other missions, but Prisoner of Elders is always difficult, and I always had to ask for some assistance. So, and the most difficult mission in Prison of Elders is the one when you have to be destroying the mines, because it's strictly timed. You have 30 seconds to get to each mine, and I'm always failing. So that tells it all. So we are back to the tower, and I have to remember to collect some bounties as well. We could have done well with some extra bounties, I think. One bounty completed, kill 30 enemies without taking damage from them. Path of the Striker. So we need to go to the speaker and we need to talk to Zavala. So two things really. We have two different things completed in one mission, so that's excellent. Alright, and on my character has a new perk, Spin Metal, Injection Mold as well. Alright, so without further ado, we are going to go back to the tower, and then we'll talk to our commanders. We'll talk to the speaker and also to Commander Zavala. So stand by, and then we'll proceed. There we are, nicely progressing to our destination, which is on Earth. Going back to the base. Tower is our destination. There we are, proceeding to our destination. And we arrived. Just very quickly want to see whether we have anybody else coming in on our Instagram. Not at the moment, I don't think. But I do want to thank the following members: Nicole Anazutu, Gretchen, I thank you for coming in. Ying Ying, I thank you for coming in. Hot Trash, thank you for coming in. Aliona, Snowbound, Game of Cat, Boyfriendies, and Con Life. Thank you all for being our new followers. Thank you for coming, thank you for joining. Thank you for being, obviously, our community members. Hope you'll enjoy your time here during my broadcasts. Thank you for joining us. I still don't have those videos up and running on Twitter. I posted them like 4 or 5 hours ago, and I don't know why. Okay, so let's have a look. What else have we got? We need to go to the speaker, but before we do that, we are going to be going to our friend Master Rahul. We have that engram. Indeed, sir, it was a hard find. Will you be able to decode this engram for us?
Be sure you know what you're aiming at.
Long Far Gone I got. Oh, it's legendary engram. Let's have a look. Long Far Gone. Fusion rifle, 385. Oh, I see. I have this 390. That's much better. Okay, 390 is doing it. 379, 370, 380. The only thing which is not really doing well is that Titan artifact. It's just 280. Do you need another one to bring my light up? Wonder where we're going to be able to get it. Probably from the Iron Temple. But we've not gone this far. So, without further ado, thank you for your help, sir. I shall be back after another battle. Fear God, honor the King. Get a dance in there, really good dance. Another hunter in there. We see quite a few people in here tonight, which is good to see. So first of all, we'll go to Zavala. We'll see what our commander has to say.
Trial begins in Old Russia.
Trial begins in Old Russia. Indeed, we know that.
Good to have you back.
Part of the striker, Guardian, that's some exceptional work. The work of a striker is never done by their nature, and a fraught path stands before you. Go and discover what it means to walk that path. Report it to me when you find perfection and clarity in the pursuit of the Ark.
Never doubted you for a moment, Guardian.
You return knowing not just how to strike, but when and why, and for that you have my utmost respect. The Vanguard has a tradition of challenging those who attain a certain level of mastery. I'm feeding the details to your ghost. I'm sure you will live up to the expectations, I have no doubt.
Good work.
Okay. So that's Nightfall strikes. Yeah, I should have taken one of those bounties before we commenced the Nightfall Strike the other night, and I forgot about it, so principally I didn't pick it up. I have to remember that. And nothing more to say,
We
really,
stand behind you.
from Zavala. Quests. Zavala's challenge. Complete the strike using the Fist of Havoc to generate 7 orbs in a single blow 3 times. Alright, we might be able to do that. Talk to the speaker, we'll see that. But before we do that, we are going to be talking to our friend Bounty Tracker, because it is him
You must have patience.
who is going to provide us with a few more bounties. And as you know, bounties are always very, very useful. So there we are. That's our friend Bounty Tracker. Approach. Good afternoon, my friend. I've come to collect some bounties. Will you have a few available for me? Get 30 super kills. Okay. Defeat 55. Yep. Patrol the moon 100.
Updating schedules.
Take all of those. You see these ones, the top ones, they're all for Crisis Heroic Strikes, so I'm not doing them at the moment, so there's no need to be acquiring any of those. But whilst we're here, we are going to be cashing up one of our bounties, which already have been completed. Kill 30 enemies without taking any damage from them, so that's what we got. We are up with our reputation. Okay, up in reputation.
Bounty, thank you, Guardian.
I shall be back another time. Farewell, my friend. Fear God, honor the king. Another perk enabled in here on our striker. So let's see. Aftershocks. Sprint faster, and sprinting increases the leap distance of Fist of Havoc, and then increase the duration of Pulse Grenade, Lightning Grenade, and Aftermath. Maybe we'll keep that one on for the time being, so we'll see. Okay, oh, but many perks in here. Alright. Heavy lifting is here. Then we have this one as well. Rocket launch ammunition. Absolutely, yes. We definitely want more ammunition on our rocket launcher. So that is also rocket launcher focus. Many of these perks need to be enabled, but I still don't have that worm spore, which is needed in order to enable those perks. So let's go to the speaker. Eris is also another person who wants to speak to us, but we are going to be completing the current missions before we engage with her tasks. I prefer to do one at a time, and that makes it easier and nicer for our viewers to follow the story as well. Otherwise the story is a bit complicated. And therefore this is my preference.
The light grows strong with you.
The light grows strong with you. Thank you, sire. I've come here to debrief you on that very difficult mission.
Our worlds are safer, thanks to you.
The Traveller remains as it was, broken and flawed, much as we are. But today, for a brief time, the Traveller's light glows a little brighter. You have stoked the number of our hope, the amber of our hope. Your legend grows, and with it comes my thanks. So he is rewarding us for all we completed. What is that he's going to grant us?
Good.
Arms requisition. So we need to complete the mission A Stranger's Call, so that's the next one. But I think I've got already 319 there. 393 even. Yeah, so there's no need for me to be purchasing anything from the speaker. So I need to go to the gunsmith to collect reward. So that's pretty good.
Sector gun.
Consensus slaughter that. I don't care if the city supports us. It'll fall in line when the time's right.
That'll be interesting.
So we're going to gunsmith
Suspended bounty Rasputin. No claimants.
to collect reward.
Spawn of Crota, walk this world.
What's in here?
Retrieve mission. Nuclear zone.
It's funny, isn't it? I rarely walk down there.
Yes. Looks like you had a rough night.
Choose a weapon, you've earned it. And we are getting the weapons which are worth 50. Well, it's quite simple. This is not going to be particularly rewarding to us at the moment. But what we can buy is the weapon parts.
You know what you need.
Special ammo synthesis as well. Heavy ammo
Someone who
synthesis as well.
knows what they need.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for providing me with everything I needed. I shall be back after another battle. Fear God, honor the king.
Watch yourself.
The city would like to welcome all Guardians to the tower.
So we've been given another mission. We're saying, so let's just have a look in there. See whether we have anything of interest. Very rarely do I walk down here. Just reminded of the fact that this area actually exists. I rarely go down there. Yeah. And this is what our community member Matthias, in fact. I keep pronouncing his name as Matthias, which would have been Central European, but he's actually Matthias. This is what Matthias tells us, that this view here, which reminds us of the Alps and the Dolomites and, you know, the beautiful European mountains, is the one he prefers the best. In fact, I will be looking at the mountains for a few moments, and then I'll go up in the orbit and we'll pursue that new mission given to us by the speaker. So let's enjoy this peace and quiet for a few moments. Before going to battle, we gather our thoughts, we think of our loved ones, we think of our fallen comrades and heroes. We get a bit of that extra strength to get into the battle and win it. By having a moment of peace and looking at the areas and the places we treasure the most. So, without further ado, we got our thoughts together, we are relaxed, we are ready for another battle, and now we are going to go to orbit. But for whatever reason it told me that we have no items tracked. Fruit of the garden, Stranger's Call, that needs to be there. And then this also needs to be tracked. Crucible, everything based on Crucible. I see these are patrols, kill any enemies, and so we can do that sometime, but not maybe right now. Complete the Shadow Thief Strike. In fact, this is what we'll do first. But we didn't really get to the House of Wolves yet, so maybe we are going to do that then. Okay, so this is something also that we can do, but not right now. We are now going to be doing a Stranger's Call mission. So this is the next step. Still want to see whether my videos are up there or not, and for whatever reason PlayStation server is slow in uploading. But I find it peculiar because I can see that there are other people who are actually able to view them. Don't understand it really. Nope. Alright, off we go. So Shadow Thief, patrol the moon. So that was not it. Cunning Boar, patrols. Venus. There we are. So as you could see, A Stranger's Call is on Ishtar Sync on Venus. And we have two options, easy and hard. We have to go with easy first because otherwise the mission will not register. And I've tried early on one of the missions on hard and then I had to replay it again. So, well, no.
Our new friend must have access to extraordinary methods to have reached out to us like that. The radio message she sent came from somewhere in the jungles of Venus.
And we are proceeding to the Venus. Ishtar Sync is the destination.
This colony was built by the Ishtar Collective. Records say they once studied ruins older than humanity itself. We thought this was all lost in the collapse.
There we are. We arrived.
I don't like us getting dragged out here and not being able to get the lay of the land. There used to be a Guardian outpost nearby. Let's see what they have on this place.
Indeed, let's have a look and see what they have on this place. The task is locate the outpost to establish a foothold on Venus before finding the stranger's coordinates. Okay. So we are not going to be rushing it. managed to kill them all. And still need to carry on. It's over there. A mighty melee punch, which is terrific. Deploy ghost in here. Okay.
We're late. Sparrow's accessible. There's a lot here about some war machines called the Vex. Indestructible, relentless, supremely intelligent. And they can teleport. Great. Guardians used to have sensors to track them. Let's get them back online.
Let's get them back online. So we need to be activating Vex sensors. And we need to find them. Well, we're not going to be looking for them for too long. They're just out there. There's nothing in there. I don't think I've been here before. Well, for that section, I've been to Linus, obviously. Boom. Shooting from the hip is not recommended. No, we don't need to go there.
The Vex sensor should be up ahead.
So watch this. Come here, and then Vex sensor should be here, and I believe indeed it is. There. Deploy ghost.
These sensors are extensive. Okay, I should be able to track these machines. Let's head to those coordinates and find out what she wants us to see.
Let's head to the coordinates. Find the coordinates. As we heard from our community members, lots of our friends are playing Destiny 2. It's Destiny 2 Forsaken and Destiny 2 Season Pass. We are to be progressing to the second season, I believe. Well, not yet. Season of the Forge is up and running still until the beginning of March, I think. So is anybody doing it? If so, let me know. Quite interested here. Let me know how you're doing and whether you're happy with your results and achievements, as you heard from our community member Captain Jack. He has very, very long grinds there on Forsaken, and I guess other people are having the same issue as well, meaning needing to really work very hard to get to certain power levels, which can feel very arduous and hard working. Collecting a lot of Spirit Bloom, which is good. I need to collect literally everything. Ah, look at them. So where are they? I don't see them. Can hear them though. Can hear them, but I can't see them. Oh, there. That's beautiful. Well, killed him. Didn't prevent him from firing those deadly rockets. So I guess if you're playing for the first time, you would have seen Taken for the first time. So there you go. You've seen plenty of them already. Those dreaded enemies, invisible and very, very fast. Let's not really engage with them anymore. Let's carry on and find the coordinates, which are going to be there.
Detecting Vex. Like we're surrounded.
Cash Flat is coming in. I have to tell you, sir, this is a family-friendly channel, so please no swear words and rude words. The mods are going to ban anyone who's using them straight away, so please no rude words. Family-friendly channel. Destiny 2 is very difficult, as we've heard. Destiny 2 Forsaken, that is. And also the seasons are quite difficult.
The coordinates lead here? What is it? Let me get a closer look.
Shiflet is saying he is sorry for that. Okay, no problem. If you get like muted for a little while, that's because the mods had spotted it, so I apologize, but there's nothing I can do. You know? Yeah, I've just seen that the mods had kind of muted you for 600 seconds. I apologize for that, but you know, there are words which are detected by mods, and any kind of rude words, you'll be brought back in, so you needn't worry. You'll be able to come in, but just remember it's a family-friendly channel, so the mods really attack any words of that sort, you know. Heavily moderated, this channel is, because it's family friendly, and you know, we really pay attention that no rude words or anything offensive is used here. So I apologize for this, but you will be brought back in very shortly. Yep, 600 seconds.
Fascinating. A conflux of non-baryonic streams going... where? Oh, no. It's the Vex. Better find some cover.
Alex is here. Hello, Alex. How are you doing? Very good to see you. Alex is saying hi. How are you doing? Lots of enemies here to kill now, so bear with us. We'll use our super. Alex is saying he's doing really good, asking me about my evening. You know, I'm having a very, very good day. I had the entire weekend dedicated to Anthem, and I was testing the VIP demo. And then I had yesterday also a brief review at the end of that test. And then today I had a lengthy review with question and answer session as well, which went really well. In addition to that, I had forwarded my feedback to BioWare, and one of the senior producers, the producer of Anthem, picked up some of my comments, so that was very good. And also I invited all of my community members to provide me with some feedback on Anthem gameplay, if indeed they were doing it during the weekend. And so if you were one of those guys, then let us know how you experienced Anthem demo gameplay. It was like a VIP demo during the weekend, but there were lots of technical issues, so I'm quite curious to hear on the gameplay and on the technical issues from everyone. And then obviously I'll collect the feedback and I'll forward it to BioWare, you know. Alex says, you seem like a really chilled man, I'll follow you, you seem very nice. Well, thank you so much, really, you know, really appreciate your kind words. Also very grateful for you coming here, watching my channel, being obviously a member of my community. And you'll find lots of other Destiny veterans in here. We have lots of good content every night, every day in fact. And so welcome and thanks for coming, for watching the channel. If you played Anthem, then just let me know what your experience was, because we were testing the demo during the weekend. It was very much like a beta test, and then there's going to be another weekend of, well, gameplay really. It's going to be another demo, but this time it's going to be VIP. It will be open demo for everybody to come in, so we really look forward to that next Friday. As I said in my comments, hurry up Friday, we just can't wait for that. And also hurry up BioWare with the maintenance of all these glitches which we experienced. But to summarize, Anthem is an awesome game. It will be absolutely amazing once released, and you know, we all want to see the release date without any technical problems. That's certainly the idea. And thank you for following. Thank you for following, Alex. Really appreciate it. I had lots of people coming in tonight early on, so I'm very grateful for all of your support. That's completed. this is good. More. What was that? Going the wrong way. They nearly got me. What was that? So many enemies in here. Very hectic.
What are these things? Are there any still intact that I can analyze?
There are, by the looks of it. Let's see. Ishtar Academy, which is an Ishtar sink on Venus.
Well fought.
You're here.
We haven't got much time.
Who are you?
Why have you been watching us?
I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain. I will. I will. I know.
Will what?
I wasn't talking to you, little light.
I'm a ghost, actually.
Many Guardians fell. Strong ones. But you made it here. Yes, I'm listening. They are here. With me.
Who's she talking to?
Understood. You need my help, Guardian.
Is that why you brought us here?
They brought us here. The Vex. Evil so dark it despises other evil.
You're not a Guardian.
No. I was not forged in light. But I believe where our paths cross, ground could break. Have you heard of the Black Garden?
We've heard the legends.
The greatest threat to us all lies there. Where these machines are born. Find the Black Garden. Rip out its heart. Only then will your traveler begin to heal.
Can you help us find it?
My path's my own. I can't.
If we're going to find the Black Garden, we need to see the Awoken.
Ah, yes. The Awoken. Out there wavering between the light and the dark. A side should always be taken, little light. Even if it's the wrong side. Too late returning. How many? Hold position, kill the engines, and don't let them find you.
So, how do we find the Awoken?
They live all the way out at the edge of the darkness. Last place the light touches.
The
Can't we just
Awoken.
stay here with the murderous robots?
No. Little light.
Don't do that.
So what did we get? 85 kills, 25 precision, deaths nil, so that's good. Take a screenshot of that. Another screenshot of that. And then we'll continue. So where do we need to go? Let's see. So our mission has been completed. Fruit of the Garden. Travel to the reef home of the Awoken and find what they know about the Black Garden. Okay. One band has been completed. Collect resource nodes, open chests and kill enemies on Venus. That's complete. Right? We got some spirit blood, and now we need to go to the reef. But before we do so, I'll take a very short break and then we'll carry on with our adventures in the Destiny world. So bear with me, I'll be back in a minute. There we are, my friends. I'm back, and we'll carry on with our mission. We are to go to the reef, and we are going to be introduced to, I believe, the Queen. Where the Awoken reside. So, you guys ready? We are off to the reef to meet the Awoken. Travel to the home of the Awoken and find what they know about the Black Garden. Stand by and then proceed to our destination.
Where did all this come from?
Every ship that could escape fled Earth during the collapse. They made it this far. I guess they died out here.
It's a graveyard. How did the Awoken survive?
No one knows.
Intruder bearing 127, you have crossed into the realm of the Awoken. State your business or be fired on by order of the Queen.
Don't look at me. Better say something.
We are from Earth. We're here to seek the Council of the Awoken.
Conform to my trajectory. Any deviation will be taken as an act of aggression.
Looks like we're in the right place.
Why is the right place always so terrifying?
There we are, we're going to meet the Queen.
So, these are the trespassers demanding an audience.
We didn't mean to trespass.
The Queen herself judges who may or may not enter the realm. Me? I see no reason she should be available for whatever washes up at the reef. But here we are.
We've come to ask for help.
Fallen!
It is afraid of the fallen. It does not understand these ones are mine.
Apologies, Your Grace.
I am a guardian from Earth. We are searching for the Black Garden.
Why?
We seek to destroy the darkness at its heart.
You want to turn it into a battleground? How unimaginative.
Do you know where it is?
Everyone knows where it is. The hard part is getting in.
Can you help us?
And why would we do that?
The Queen requests counsel with her brother.
That's good. That's good. Why not? We'll make you a key. How's that? All we need is the head of a Vex Gate Lord.
A Gate Lord? Yeah, we...
Why do you want a Vex head?
Oh, we don't. And I doubt we'll get one either. But it's your only hope of getting into the Black Garden.
We will return.
Or die on Venus. Either way.
So as you could see, we met the Queen there, and we are going to be going back to Venus by the looks of it. Let's look at our missions. Unravel the secrets of the Vex by reviving an ancient research station of the Ishtar Collective. Complete mission Ishtar Collective. So this is what we are to do. We are to go back to Venus and then engage with the Vex. So as you could see, there's plenty to do everywhere. But the first mission is going back to Venus, the Ishtar Collective. Level 11 story. Unravel the secrets of the Vex by reviving an ancient research station of the Ishtar Collective. There we are. Stand by and then ready to proceed. Lots of great story missions as we are playing our Titan. Doing it step by step, but already mighty.
I wish you'd check with me before making insane promises. If we want to take down a Gate Lord, we've got to find out how these machines operate. Let's find the biggest one we can, pull out its brain, and see what we can learn about them. Okay, there's a big Vex signature just up the coast. Let's kill it, whatever it is, and bring its mind core to one of the old Academy research labs.
So we are to head up the coast. We'll get an Sparrow and try to get there as quickly as possible. And every single time we get here, there are enemies waiting for us. Good. So that's good. Back on a Sparrow. And then we carry on. Okay, that's all good. We got those. Okay, another. Oops. Sparrow. Go up there. Directly in there. Left and right a bit, just for the fun of it. Oh, somebody else in there as well, doing the mission. But there are some other enemies in there as well. These grenades are pretty good. They have this disorientating effect as well. So they really work well combined with automatic weapons or hand cannon. And I have to admit, on my Warlock I was using automatic weapons all the time, but on my Titan and what's this now? Oh, yeah. Taken Lieutenant has been destroyed. That's good. Killed. Although they're dying, they still keep firing those rockets. And successfully so, I have to decide. Quite successful in being a true menace. What was that? Something was hitting me from above, probably that ship. Or what else? Okay. Happies. Ooh, it's going the wrong way. Why is he not dead? Able to get rid of them. Got our grenade recharged. No.
Up ahead, a ridiculously large Vex emission. Sounds like what we're looking for. Fascinating. Let's head for that research station.
Yeah, let's find the research site. Enemy coming. 3 o'clock. What is there? Can't see a thing. Okay, that's all resolved. Pretty good. Our friend is following us.
Their mind cores are actually biological, not relative to any known life forms recorded. Maybe the Collective's research can tell us more. These ruins predate humanity by a few billion years. Vex are coursing through them.
Oh, good. Awakening ruins. Let's carry on. Don't have to be racing. Just have to find the ruins. Enemies fast approaching.
The research station.
Well, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. And I have no more special ammunition. Will they? Not everyone, but most.
Nice work. There's got to be a central terminal around here. Found one. Let's see if I can get it to work.
Oh, there. Deploy ghost.
It's revivable. I'll see what they discovered here. Vex, they're coming.
The Vex are coming. Beautiful. Literally obliterates it.
The Vex share one mind across 1 million units. That's why they react so fast.
Nice picturesque view from here. Spotted.
Amazing. They can warp across star systems in an instant.
Return to Ghost. And Fruit of the Garden completed.
I know how to find a Gate Lord. Each Vex is part of a giant network that spreads through the mantle of the entire planet. If I can just get into their system, we can draw a Gate Lord out.
Gate Lord will be driven out. But before we do so, we are going to go back to Earth. We need to be at the tower and we need to speak to Master Rahul. Clipshot is asking me, did you get the gold chest in the back of the building? I didn't. I didn't get it because as it was a story mission, I thought there will be no chests in there. So, in fact, my error. I didn't see it. Didn't look for it either, which obviously was my error as well. Just quite kind of focused on the enemy and then getting back to base, but obviously that wasn't the best thing to do. I have to keep an eye out for this golden chest. Just didn't expect, you know, because these are quite early story missions, didn't expect a golden chest to be there for me because it wasn't strike. So my fault really. We'll be looking at the upgrades. So we have some perks on. Look at that chest of armor. That's looking good, isn't it? Look at that chest. Coat of arms, wolves, looking really good. Wonderful. So we need lots of helium filaments and worm spore in order to get some other upgrades up and running. Oh, we got another one. Clip Short says, you are making me want to load up Destiny 1. Still an awesome game even with Destiny 2 out. I absolutely agree, sir. I absolutely agree. Destiny 1 is an awesome game and always replayable. You can play it as many times as you like. Always interesting, always exciting, and indeed you can build different characters and, you know, raise the light and everything else. Always great. And then when you finish the entire game, you can always be doing Crucible, or you can be doing your Zero Heroic Strikes or the weekly Nightfall Strike. Always interesting. The other night, Matthias and myself were doing the Nightfall Strike, and the two of us. It was a very difficult one with 3 science at the end, and we completed it. And it was very enjoyable. I've done it several times before. Always love it. Destiny 2, also very, very good game. I love it as well, although people had some concerns about different sections. even more so after the seasons were introduced on the annual pass. But we just had another Destiny veteran member early on saying that he is still on Destiny 2 Forsaken, and he's grinding certain levels because it's very difficult to raise the power. And you know, well, it's a Destiny world, right? Destiny 1, Destiny 2, wonderful games altogether. I think lots of people had a bit of a lukewarm response to Destiny 2 are warming up even more after the seasons on the annual pass, because the annual pass is giving new missions and new raids and new niceties, and that's certainly been very appreciated. Clipshot says, I miss all the Destiny 1 strikes, they should have brought them over. I guess so. They well, they kind of construed the game a bit differently, you know, but still, it is a different game, and it's equally, well, it's very good. I mean, I like both games. I've been streaming Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 now for 5 months, roughly, and I love it. I think I had lots of fun, and we have really very, very good community input in here on the both games, and, you know, it's been just great all around. Had absolutely terrific, wonderful experience with everyone. So we got another perk in here, Titan Codex 5, training focused on maximum battle recovery. Yeah, we'll keep it on, well, maximum battle recovery. In fact, we might be able to then get health recovery as well. Yeah, just to say that presently I'm not doing Destiny 2 streams, but once I completed my third character, I'll be focusing entirely on Destiny 2. So on Destiny 1 we'll be doing the strikes and the raids and, you know, bits and pieces, because all the other things have been completed, and then Destiny 2 will be absolutely 100% focus for everyone. Okay. So we need to go back to Earth and talk to Master Rahul. That's basically what the order was. So this is our next mission, so please stand by. We are proceeding to our next destination, which is the tower. There we are. We are back to tower, and we need to speak to Master Rahul first of all. And
Cipher is malfunctioning.
In order to complete that mission,
Let's get started, Titan.
Vex encryption is difficult, yes. For those not of the cryptarchy, your ghost should now have the codes he needs to summon this Gate Lord. Feel free to return with any amusing puzzles like this in the future, assuming you survive.
Never doubted for a second.
So we are having... our reputation has gone up, which means rank with this faction has increased. And Guardian, I appreciate the chance to study your findings. I hope you're not too disappointed with some of the results. Cryptarch Master, I also accept rewards. Yes, we're accepting rewards. We got some Might of Light and Strange Coin, and we have a couple of enemies as well.
Not many of those left, even in our vaults.
A new mask. And then also we have, what is it? Oh, I didn't see it quick enough, it just went. Let's have a look at our inventory. This one is 385, this is 394, so we do not need that one at all. Fence. And we had another 384, 394, don't need that at all. Okay, and then something else here with our weapons. This weapon is only 50, we don't need it at all. So every one of those we will dismantle and we'll get some extra benefits. So let me see, that's 383. We don't have anything else which can be infused, right? Right. 390, 385. Can I infuse this? I can. Okay, so that's pretty good. Fusion rifle 385, sniper rifle 385, long fire gun, so we will infuse that one. So 385 going up. But what's the reason for my light to be dropping? Don't understand. 390? Oh no, that's right. Oh, no. It's just because I changed 390, 390, 379. Dragon's Breath, Nova Mortis. Well, Dragon's Breath might be useful. We don't have this exotic shard yet again. Gauntlets. So that's all completed. Quests. What are the quests that we have here? Let's see. The next quest is Eye of Gate Lord. So lure out the Vex Gate Lord that the Vex Gate Lord that protects the Ender Steps of Venus and bring its head back to the Awoken. Complete mission Eye of a Gate Lord. So we are going to do this, and this is going to be our last mission for tonight. So we are going to proceed and see. We have this bounty filled in as well. Get 30 arc weapon kills. Might of Light and Strange Coin have been acquired, so that's good. See the inventory for a moment. Might of Light, we have 191. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm using my Might of Light in order to increase experience on all of my current weapons and kit. And as you'll see, I'm getting now a lot more experience and many more perks, so that's pretty good. I'm having those perks. Invigoration. We have another perk here, which is Auto Rifle Loader. We have then another one here, Solar Double Down. And then in here we have Vanguard Champion, so these are all very good ones. Okay, so that's all done. And we need to see now where the the mission is. I believe it's on Venus as well. Yep, that's right.
Come back before I get bored.
So this is all completed.
Take your time.
No, we don't have anything with the Postmaster, so we can just simply have a look at the view and then go back to orbit and pursue this last mission for tonight. Eye of a Gate Lord is the mission. And it is on Venus. Eye of a Gate Lord. We need to be bringing out the Vex Gate Lord that protects the Endless Steps and bring its head back to the Awoken. Done this mission many times before. It's not particularly difficult, so we are going to be able to complete it in no time. So let's just stand by and then proceed to our destination on Venus.
The more we learn about the Vex, the more I understand why our exo-friend is so worried about them. During the collapse, they transformed the planet Mercury into a machine in days. They would have spread to every planet if the Traveler hadn't stopped them. We need to get into the Black Garden. We need a Gate Lord's head. First thing we're going to have to do is get me into the Vex network so I can lure out a Gate Lord. I'll lead the way.
Before we carry on with the mission, I'd just like to welcome some of our new community members. We had quite a few people joining the channel tonight. I think lots of people watched my Anthem review earlier and they were quite happy with what they've seen and heard, so they all joined. So we have lots of new community members. The latest are Clipshot. I welcome Clipshot to our community. Then Hiflet is also, or K Hiflet is also here, a new member of the community. I apologize for the mod blocking initially for 10 minutes, but that's because of the words you used on chat. Please, keep in mind that any words which are considered family and friendly will be blocked by mods. I apologize for this, but you obviously didn't realize, and that was the reason. But obviously you can come back to the channel and use that well and talk to all of us. We welcome you to our community. Alex is here as well. Thank you for coming, Alex. Thank you for joining us. And then Super Say NPC is here as well. So these are Super Say NPC, Alex MV, and Cashvet and Clipshot. These are the latest members. But early on we had Silas 1404, Radical Gaming 25, Jeff T, Reddit 66, and Dr. Dementos. So lots of people coming in tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for following, and indeed thank you for being with us here and being members of our community. Thank you all for that. And we are now going to be continuing with our last mission for today, which is going to be this mission, the mission called Eve of the Gate Lord, or a Gate Lord actually. Eve of a Gate Lord, big pardon. And scan the Vex network. So this is what we need to do. So we're going to be pulling out our Sparrow and ride the Sparrow to get to the destination.
Here's what we have on Gate Lords. 3 stories tall, protect the realms the Vex keep locked out of time. Time? That can't be right.
always waiting here, these ones, but we don't have to worry about them anymore.
I'm picking up a heavy conflux nearby. I can use it to get into their network.
Oops. Didn't have to do that because obviously we're here. That's good. These enemies have been resolved. But we do have something here. I did see it earlier. Now it's disappeared. So we need to find... travel to the foot of the Vex Citadel. Okay. So what we'll do here is we'll use super. Like this. Come close to them and then we'll super. Therefore they're all dead. Somebody else engaging the enemy. We are going to let him be. But what we do want to do is what? What's happening out there? Two guys in. Okay. You don't have to go in there, really. Just follow the directions. No. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Deploy Ghost.
And I thought you had the hard job. Okay, we've got to head for a place called the Endless Steps. That's where we'll find the Gate Lord.
The Gate Lord is there. And the Endless Steps. So we'll carry on quickly. But the other guys bypassed this. Probably they're doing another mission. We're not gonna bother with those taken because we need to get to the steps and then destroy the Gate Lord, and then our mission is complete and our broadcast is complete as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the firefights. It's been very, very enjoyable for me. And hope you also enjoyed my Anthem review early on. If you missed it, just go to my Twitch channel and you'll get it on the archived broadcasts. I have to say I was astonished by the number of people that came in to hear it. And obviously Anthem is the next big thing, so I'm, you know, to a degree maybe not surprised, but literally when I logged in, 50 people came in straight away, and that was really quite interesting. It's literally at the point of starting the broadcast, which is very good and exciting considering how many people were doing the demo over the weekend, and it really makes me very hopeful, thinking that we are going to be having a brand new community established, similar to this one, but in this instance it is going to be called the Anthem community, and that is truly awesome. Gameplay in Anthem is incredible. Just that the demo was really marred and plagued by so many technical problems and glitches on all platforms, but really the gameplay is astonishing, and that open world looks so immersive. So many different corners to explore. You can talk to everyone. You can
to find the
items.
gate lord, I sort of had to mess with all their transfer
really
gates
great.
here. You're probably going to have your hands full.
Well, almost certainly I have my hands full. Lots of enemies waiting for me here. I need to tackle them before we get to the Gate Lord. They're always there. Have we made that far? No, I didn't get through. See whether they all survived or whether they were killed by that delayed grenade. Did they survive? No sign of them. There must be that grenade then. Well?
The gates are waking. They'll keep coming unless you can shut them down. You've got to destroy the gates. That worked. Keep it up.
Oh, that's good. Good job, I remember that. Awesome. Everyone destroyed so easy. Well, the Gate Lord is done there. Well, not quite, but you know, quite close. Survived. Why? Fusion rifle is really powerful. So, you know, altogether, I had lots of co-op team matches and played lots of different gamers, but very rarely did people use fusion rifle. And I have to say that this one is particularly powerful, so I really like it. And the reason I'm using it is quite simple. We needed arc weapons for Nightfall this week, and therefore I simply use it. And it worked. I need more special weapons. I mean special ammunition. It's going down now. So those ones are all destroyed. Okay. Brilliant. I'm ready. Thought so. Keep forgetting about those. They're very useful in here. Yeah, well, I have some other ones. Do you see them? Yeah. You got it? Yes, I did. Okay. And they're respawning in there. So that helps. All of that helps. This time I remember. Gate Lord. Come on. Lots of good firefights tonight, I have to say, and lots of enemies killed. These are story missions on the Destiny 1 base game, and as you could see, fully powered with my Titan already 381 light and 40 level, so doing really good, and therefore the enemies are quite easy to kill. More power you got, easier it will be to tackle the enemies, but also you need some strategies, and you know, there are a few other things to know in addition to just simply having all that firepower.
And that is where we'll find the Gate Lord. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's right, we'll find the Gate Lord. I can hear something sneaking from behind. What's that? Don't see it. They're all there. Okay. Lovely. Okay, looks like I got them all, which is pretty good, all considering. So the Gate Lord is down there, so let's get the steps as quickly as. Didn't want to die. What else can you tell? Okay. All done.
I guess you're going to have to step inside the ring.
Yeah, I have to step inside of the ring. And then I will need this thing.
go.
No, he was nearly dead. He was less than 1% life. Ah, annoying. But I better collect some ammunition because I don't think it's not gonna work. One rocket. Run away then, whilst
here we go. Nice work. This better get us into the Black Garden. Let's go get our key from the Queen.
Travel to the reef and present them with the head of this Gate Lord. So we'll do that and then we'll come to the end of our broadcast. Quickly, is there any ammunition? Travel need, yes. No more ammunition. There we are. Mission's finished. Just annoyed that I got killed in there. It's just a bit careless. Didn't need to be killed in there. Quite a mighty fusion rifle. That should have given me enough firepower to destroy the Gate Lord. But I wasn't watching my back, and that's what caused it. Alright, so very quickly we'll go to the reef and complete the mission.
It is alive and still has its ball.
There is no shame in running away, Guardian. Apart from the cowardice and failure of it, it's an excellent strategy.
We didn't run.
Was no Gate Lord slain, brother?
Oh, we slayed a Gate Lord.
Ghost? We need to find the Black Garden.
They don't even know where it is.
Let us tell them. Search the Gate Lord for that which gains them entrance.
Why? If you wish them certain death, just kill them here.
Often when we guess at others' motives, we reveal only our own.
My motive is simply loyalty. To a people. A queen and a sister.
Then please, take what is required.
Dead, unfortunately. A wasted journey, I'm afraid.
Perhaps. But I think these ones are resourceful. We gift it, in sympathy for their traveler.
Mars. 84 North, 32 East. Meridian Bay.
I have shown you benevolence, Guardian. Should the Awoken ever need an ally, I will call on you. And expect you to answer.
She's saying you owe us, Guardian.
I understand. Your Grace.
Good luck getting through the exclusion zone.
I'm at your service.
We are brought to the Vestian outpost, so as you know, in here we are to meet Varix and Petra, but we are not going to do that tonight. And let me just see whether we need to do some admin in there as well. Yeah, we do need to do some admin, so we'll have Master Ives in there.
Ah, good. I need muscle.
Good evening, sir. Will you be able to decoy some of my engrams? Some rewards for our battles and achievements. So some glimmer. 200.
Why not?
400. 400 glimmer. And in here we've got some engrams as well.
I suppose you should check it's loaded.
Sidearm. Havoc Pigeon is a very good one, so I'm very glad I got that. We'll equip several hand cannons, and that will be very, very useful. Hand Pigeon is very, very good. Not hand Pigeon, what is it called? Hand cannon. Oh, there it is. Havoc Pigeon. Yeah, that one we don't want. Havoc Pigeon is very precise and very effective. It does have magazine of 12, which is excellent, compared to this one, which is magazine 9. So the bigger the magazine, the better, obviously. Alright, so let's see. Here, we don't have anything else to infuse. We can't increase our light, unfortunately. And we just have to remain patient whilst building our strength.
Last time I saw this many people in the bay, they were going to war.
Please try again.
As you know, this area is not accessible. And we can't really do anything in there. But it's always good to revisit and have a look at the coat of arms and everything else. And we are now going to be going up to the section where we can be just watching this industrial landscape, having a moment of peace, and after that we are going to be ending the broadcast. As you know, we'll carry on tomorrow with obviously our other missions. We'll talk to Petra in here, we'll get introduced to Varix, and we are going to be proceeding with everything else, which obviously needs to be done by our Titan. So, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for watching the broadcast. I'm very grateful for your community participation, for your questions, for your comments and views. I'm very grateful also to you all who came earlier on tonight to my Anthem review. Anthem review will be also held on every day of this week, and it is run as a brief review with some news on the game, as well as question and answer for people to come up with their thoughts and views on the gameplay and the technical issues which they experienced during the weekend. So do come back for that tomorrow, and also join us for more Titan adventures in Destiny 1. On that note, I will wish you all a very, very good night.
Route to archives. Missing package. Tower reporting bounty closed on Archon Priest Fairlane. Xeno Protocol. Guardian incoming from Hectorian outpost to transmit tower bounties. Tower post cleared by the archive mission. Ocean of Storms. Incoming for Guardian. Tower opening Hygeia cluster bounties. Guardians, please report for bounties. Please acknowledge. Please repeat. Incoming to Growth Chamber Yaw. Tower reporting bounty closed on Winter's Servitor. Com software updated. I am Bergson 9940. You may call me Berg if you prefer. Cleared by the Amethyst Coven. Reroute to examination. Checking for available bounties now. Accessing messages.
Hunt well, outsider.
Unit Bast, please respond. Closing relay. Palace cluster. Quarantine.
Get some guards over to the Prison of Elders. Make sure none of their house still remain.
Incoming to Growth Chamber Big. Signal lost. Error. Confirming resolution of Gadabal Lake bounty. Route to archives. Closed bounty. Unable to transmit. Standing by. All routes clear. I am Berg 9940. Package broken in transit. Please confirm. Confirming resolution of Rasputin bounty. Correcting. Bounty closed. Please clarify. Route to Amethyst. Please acknowledge. This is Unit South operating. Please respond. Bounty. Resolving images now. Guardian, you are not arriving. I've made communication with Xander 9940 with a 28-minute delay. Berg 9940 requesting tower channel. Confirming resolution of Swarm Prince Bounty. Tower posting Martian retrieval mission. Freehold. Confirming resolution of Twin Shadow Bounty. Tower re-upping Fallen Infestation Bounty. First Light Bounty.
Outsider.
Confirming resolution of Silent Fang Bounty. Tower opening Dust Giant Bounty. Resolving images now. Retrieving available bounties. Tower reporting Ishtar Outpost Bounty unclaimed, with 32-minute delay. Guardian. Confirm for growth chambers. Guardians, I have been assigned to report and transmit tower bounties.